Welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest news. Coming up on today's episode, Moukoko the Wonder Kid striker is linked to Forest. We'll give you an update on the Danilo injury. Loku injured, but there is a new link at left back. And I'll give you my thoughts on Forest 1, Bournemouth 1. All this and plenty more coming up today on your latest Forest news. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest news and transfer news. And boy, have I got a story for you guys. I'm so excited. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And we will, of course, be giving you a Danilo update on the injury, the horrific one from yesterday. And hopefully it's positive news. We'll come on to that in a second. But let me start with this striker link, because after yesterday, I think it's obvious we do need a striker. And my number one choice striker has been linked to Forest. Moukoko from Dortmund. Yes, the wonder kid. The football manager, like, kid that turns to be worth £300 billion in a few years' time. He's linked with Forest. But there are little ifs and buts with it. So let me talk you through the story. This has been, and it's come out originally by Burger PJ, but it's been backed up by Florian Plettenberg, who is very, very trustworthy in his source. Now, I'll pre-warn you now, what I'm going to tell you will sound like, what are you talking about? And then wait till the end, okay? As in the end of this segment. So, what he said is Moukoko has reached a verbal agreement in principle with Real Betis. Calm down. To finalize the transfer, he's willing to accept a pay cut. His current salary is €6 million a year, about £5 million, which breaks down to about 100k, about 96k a week, something like that. Betis have made a concrete offer to Dortmund and negotiations are ongoing. Sounding negative still. Talks about a loan with an obligation to buy with easy achievements on it. Here it is. Ready? Forest also there. Let me say it again. Forest also there. That place where they are, Moukoko's there, Betis are there, and Forest are there. And we're the bigger club. And we have 2 stars. And we play in the Premier League. And we have Marinakis. And that's why I'm excited about it. Now, on top of that, he wasn't in the Dortmund squad on Saturday, as in yesterday, either. So he's definitely leaving. So now it's between Real Betis and Nottingham Forest. Now, let me calm down, because clearly Betis are in the driving seat here. They've already got a verbal agreement with him. There's talks with Dortmund. Forest are going to need to hijack this. Now, I tried to tell them a couple of weeks ago about him. We should have hijacked the deal when he's going to, I think it was Lille, or I can't remember who, Lyon or something in the French league. Or was it Marseille? I can't remember. Let's see your memory. Get it in the chat down below. So we're going to have to hijack this. We're going to have to come in. We're going to have to, really blow him out the water, really sell him the project. And he, for me, is better than Wood. He's better than Taiwo. He's better than Jimenez. He's better than Evanilson, who went to Bournemouth. This guy has huge potential. Now, in terms of his stats, I'll give you a quick reminder. He's been at Dortmund since 2020. He's 19 years old. He's in that age that Forest have been recruiting for. Played 76 games, scored 17 goals. 27 games last season with 6 goals. He's also played for Germany as well. He's born in Cameroon, but German nationality. He's had 2 appearances for them. Okay, those stats aren't going to blow you out of the water. I get it. But if you watch the Bundesliga, if you watch when he has played, the ceiling for this kid is unreal, in my opinion. And he's not going to cost that much, because one, we can get him on loan. Forest haven't done any loanies this transfer window. So we got plenty of room for that. If we need it with an obligation to buy, I'm fine with that as well. I'd rather we just went out and bought him, to be honest, because I highly rate him. So watch this space and see how it develops. But as excited as I am realistic enough to say that Forest are probably sitting in the passenger seat on this one, with Real Betis in the driving seat. But I'm excited. How do you guys feel about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so let's talk about Danilo and talk about the obviously horrific injury, and we wish him a speedy recovery with it. The time it took on the pitch, for me, Murillo's face was the one that really gets you worried. The way he was kind of holding onto his hand, giving him that support, but couldn't bear to look himself. And what's nice is, and shout out to the Bournemouth fans here, I've seen loads of positive messages from them wishing Danilo all the best, and really the footballing world as well. And as we were saying yesterday on the watch along, there are plenty of things that are more important than football, and this is one of them, the health, etc., and things like that. But Danilo has come out and posted on Instagram, and I just want to read you what he's written here. He said, "Hey guys, I'm stopping by to say that I'm fine, thank God, and I'm already home. We'll be back soon." Love heart emoji. "And thank you all for the messages of support." And that was really encouraging. And this is why I was saying to you guys on the watch along yesterday, I mean, the amount of people that were saying it's a broken ankle, 12 months, 12 months, 12 months. I'm like, let's not do the diagnosis and the prognoses and all this stuff before we know anything about it. And let's just send him our best wishes. So we know now it's a broken ankle. And in terms of recovery time, again, it's only speculation, but it could be 3 to 6 months. There may even be hope that we see Danilo maybe after Christmas or something like that. But I don't want him to rush in. This is a bad injury. And the fact for me that he's back at home now, is confirmed by himself, is a really good sign, as things go. So hopefully he recovers well. It definitely, affected the whole fan base, and of course it should. And let's hope we see him sooner rather than later. So that's the update. It's a positive one in my eyes. He could have been still stuck in hospital with scans, maybe needed surgery and things like that. But he's back home now, and hopefully day one of recovery has already begun. So get your well wishes in down below to Danilo in the comments, and we'll send them over to the club as well, and to Danilo himself. Okay, so let's talk about the left back position, because as we saw, Einar went off injured and was replaced by Harry Tuffalo yesterday. Have no update for you on the Einar injury. As soon as we get one or hear one, of course, we will share it with you. But this is a position that we know Nuno's been actively looking for. And Loku, who had been heavily linked to Nottingham Forest, suffered a ruptured Achilles tendon and is basically out for 8 months. So that one is done and dusted, and hopefully he as well has a speedy recovery. But there have been links coming out to other left backs that Forest are looking at. And this has come from David Ornstein, who is the GOAT this summer, it seems, on transfers. I'll just read you out. This is on Alex Moreno from Aston Villa, the 31-year-old left back. Now, he said Forest are considering a move to recruit Alex Moreno on loan from Aston Villa. Villa have 3 senior left backs, Lucas Digne, Maatsen, the one from Chelsea, and of course Moreno. Forest are looking into a season-long deal for the Spaniard, and Villa are aware of the admiration, while Moreno is weighing up his options. East Midlands clubs have a small number of possibilities for the position, with a 31-year-old prominent amongst them, owing to his own pedigree and availability. There's also interest in Besiktas, Galatasaray, Nice, Real Betis and Villarreal. Sounds like we're going to be fighting Real Betis for more than just one signing. Now, he joined Villa in January of 2023 and became an important member, but it seems not that important as they are going to let him go. Now, I'm against this one. I'll come out off the bat and say it straight for a couple of reasons. One, he's 31. Secondly, this is a loan deal. And if we're looking to solve this left back issue that we have, then we need someone who's got more than 2 or 3 years in him, as far as I'm concerned, or at least someone that is in their mid-20s who we could sell on for some sell-on value if this loan became permanent. And there's no talks about whether it's a loan with an option to buy or just a straight up loan or an obligation or anything like that. I do kind of understand what they're saying here, that Forest are looking to fill in the gap. But for me, this just kicks the can down the road. It's a bit like what we were doing with the goalkeeper situation with Henderson and Navas and so on and so forth. But the main reason I'm a no on this one is because he was set to join Forest in the season we got promoted. For those of you who are OGs around here, we were covering that transfer. And the fee was agreed. It was deal done between Forest and his former club. And then he wrote out a public letter when everything was basically agreed to the fans and said to them, I love it here and I'm staying here. And I basically ain't joining Nottingham Forest. And for me, I don't see why his attitude would have changed apart from the fact that he feels he can no longer get into the Villa team and he's coming to Forest with his beggar bowl out, his cap in hand, and all the other cliches that you can think of. And that's why I'm a no on him. Because honestly, I didn't like the way he did it. Obviously, he acknowledged his own fan base and whatever, but still, not for me. Not for me. He's a good player. He would do a job for Forest, but I can't let that go because I'm petty. What do you guys think? So this left back is definitely still a priority on Nuno's list. And my other point here is, why can't we play Omar Richards? I know Carlos put him in his team and a lot of you were raising an eyebrow to it. But I would say that Richards is better than Tuffolo. Yes, we saw him limited for a limited amount in the pre-season, but I liked what I saw and I'd be willing to take a risk on him. Let's not forget we spent about 12 million on him and he hasn't played a competitive game for Forest. He's now grown his leg back. He's fit, but he's just not being picked. And I'd rather we took that risk than loan out someone who's 31 years old, who's already stuck two fingers at us up before, if I can get my words out, and that would be my choice. What do you guys think? Now, the worrying thing is, if these stories are coming out, then maybe, and I'm speculating here, Einar could be out longer than, or the injury's more serious than it first looked. And that could be worrying. But like I said, I have no information on the Einar injury. We will, of course, keep you posted. But would you take Moreno? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, let me do a very quick match thoughts for you because we've got a Grumpy Old Reds coming out later tonight, probably 8:30, something like that. So have your notifications on so you don't miss it. And I'll tell you what, I don't think Ant's happy, but I'm going to put a positive spin on things. We obviously did the Forest phone-in last night where we got you guys coming on and giving your thoughts. And I thought the callers were really good. And there was some interesting different reactions from, you know, the whole spectrum of how people feel after a football match. And for me personally, I saw more positives in yesterday than negatives. I don't think we played bad. I think we played really well the first half. We just couldn't get that second goal to kill the match off. But my biggest concern was this fatigueness of the team and the way that we seemed to all gas at about 75 minutes into the game. Now, in theory, that shouldn't be a massive worry because you expect 2 or 3 more games into the season, everyone's up to full fitness, full match fitness, full sharpness as well. So that one can be done quite quickly. But in terms of my positives, and I'm going to, for I think the first time in my life, agree with Alan Shearer, who highlighted Sangare on Match of the Day yesterday. Most tackles, most interceptions, and most passes for Forest yesterday. What a player. Brucey, put that in your pipe and smoke it. So it was good to see Sangare's progression. I thought Yates was really good, and I thought Bolly was outstanding. However, come to the Southampton game, what I expect now in the fan base is there's going to be a big push to say Bolly has to start, or if you want to start Milenkovic as well, then we need to play in a back three. Now, just to clear up for some of you who maybe missed the news, Milenkovic was suspended for getting a red card in the Italian Cup for Fiorentina at the back end of last season. That's a European ban, so it travels with him wherever he moves on. I know, dumb rule, but the rules are the rules. Now, is that a 1-match ban or a 2-match ban? Honestly, I don't know. But let's assume Milenkovic is fit. He has to come in for me still. I still think the best pairing will be Milenkovic and Murillo. Now, I understand that would be harsh on Bolly, but my point here is bringing Milenkovic on I think still strengthens the team further. Now, I'm not saying putting Bolly on would make us crap. It's obviously the opposite of that. Bolly brings his attributes and they are very good. But Milenkovic, I just feel will help us with the calmness when it comes to these freaking dead balls, because this is still a problem for us. We conceded an offside goal from a corner. We just don't look calm still. And every time there's a corner or a dead ball, I remembered what it felt like to be me 3 months ago watching Forest whenever a dead ball came. I forgot about it over the summer. These problems need to be addressed. But on the positive side, when you think back to the game, we did create some clear-cut chances. Taiwo could have buried that header. Yates had another chance on his left foot. Bolly had a cracking header that was well saved by Neto. So the positives are we are creating chances. Now, if we can get Moukoko in, then we've got someone who causes the defenders more problems. I thought Wood was playing way too deep in a lot of that match. And then he can't get himself forward quickly where Moukoko can. There's still some tweaks that need to come into this team. And now with Sosa being announced, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him fighting Elanga on the right-hand side. Or maybe Callum Hudson-Odoi moving to the right, which I don't know if I'd be up for. But there is still a lot of good things to take out of this game. It's only game one. As the saying goes, there's still 37 to go. And guess what? Forest are exactly where I predicted they'd be. 8th. At the time of recording this video, there's obviously a couple of matches later on. So I'm staying positive. Let's see what the guys say tonight on Grumpy Old Reds. As always, it's going to probably be loud and argumentative and all the usual stuff. So bring your popcorn. We'll see you then. If you haven't checked out the fan phone in, go check it out now. I'll leave it on the end screen for you. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. See you later on this evening. Come on, you Reds.